Hi, Ogre. You're such a love bug. You're such a love. Oh, God. Hello. Ugh, he wants to be a lap dog so badly. You just think you're a lap dog and you're really not. You're too big to be a lap. He's half on the chair, half all. That was my mouth. You just stuck your tongue in my mouth. I don't appreciate that. I can't escape. Oh, now Jester wants him. Look at his love bug. No more? Oh, she sat on my lap. Who's a happy pup? Are you a happy pup? I'll look it up. I'll look it up. Happy New Year, Dragonlings. I am sitting on my chair with a Jester pup licking me. Yes, I'm talking about you. Don't duck your nose away from me. Anyways, so I'm just sitting for the moment. I just got off work, just got home a little bit ago, and I need to do my writing for the day, but that's okay. I have already finished my first book of the year. So at work, I tend to alternate between listening to audiobooks and listening to music. And when I listen to audiobooks, normal speed seems to annoy me. It's just too slow. And so I tend to listen to audiobooks on either 1.25 or 1.5 speed, depending on the narrator. And today I was listening to So This Is Ever After by F.T. Lukens, and the narrator was really good, and I was listening to it on 1.5 speed, and I both started it and finished it today. So that was fun. It was a really good book. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Usually I don't complete an entire book in a day. It just depends. With today being a holiday, like I was just going around zipping, zip, doing cleaning rooms and not being bothered by anyone, so I was able to listen to the entire book and finish it today. So, are you good, Jester? Are you good? You got your daily lovins in? Ogre was just near on my lap, and she decided when she came in that she had to be. Why are you licking me? Am I salty? Do I taste good? I must taste good. I must taste delicious. Anyways, so yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the book. And it's not that I thought I wouldn't enjoy the book, it's just that these days, like, YA fantasy is hit or miss with me, because there's a lot of times the characters are just too immature and can't get their head in the game. And I think what I really enjoyed about this one is this was a 17-year-old. The whole premise of the story is that they have already defeated the bad guy. This is a group of characters. They went on the quest. They defeated the bad guy, and that's where it starts. Like, the book starts at the end of the quest. They fulfilled the prophecy. What's next, kind of thing. And in most stories, that's the whole point. Is they get to that point, and that's where the story ends. Whereas that's where this one started, and I thought that was such a cool idea. I thoroughly love it. But on top of that, the main character is this teenage boy who I didn't realize how old they were, because honestly I thought all these characters were older, and then they started talking about their ages, and I was like, oh, these are kids. Like, I'm sitting here picturing in my mind, like, young adults, but like over 18, but like between 18 and 25. Like, that was what age I was picturing all these characters. The oldest was 17, almost 18. And the main character himself was 17, turning 18 soon. But anyways, like, I thoroughly enjoyed this book. And while there were moments of immaturity with the characters where they were just stupid and stubborn, I can't say anything because I was like, dude, that's something I would do. And I'm like, I'm almost 35, guys. Like, there's the moments of immaturity, I'm like, yep, that's something I'd do. So, oh, excuse you. And all these kids were acting like they were sent off on a quest to fulfill a prophecy, and then this was all what happened after the prophecy was fulfilled. And, like, how they were handling the new quest. They were basically not exactly given like what they had to do afterwards, and how they were handling it. And it was a really, really good book. The writing style is definitely something that I enjoyed. It's actually closer to more like what I want to write, which is really cool. And the representation in the book, like the main character is, I'm guessing, bi, because there were often discussions about, um, there was only one character he truly had feelings for. Like from the get go, you know that that's the person that they want to be with. Like that's their forever person. Um, but they also talked about having feelings for the other people. Um, and while there was a couple that was heterosexual, there was definitely couplings that were male male, female female, like a couple of couplings relationships that were mentioned that were male male, which was great. Like I love those kind of books, and I was really enjoying the fact that there was mentions of female female as well. And then at the very tail end of the book, like there was one person who started dating someone who was female, but also dating someone who was non-binary, which was really cool to see represented in books too. And then both of them together, like polyamory. So I was like, oh, okay. And I'm not gonna lie, I've been sitting here since I finished the book going, am I gonna rate this one 5 stars? Like I don't rate books 5 stars that often. 5 stars books for me are books that I'm going to read over and over and over again. They are auto by authors. Like I start my ratings. I don't know about you guys, but I start my ratings at 3 star. 3 star is a good book. 2 star is book, and 1 star, ugh. 1 star is I barely finished it kind of thing. Like I really did not enjoy it, but I had to know the ending. 2 star is not much better than that, and 3 star is an okay book. Like I like the story, I like the writing, but I'm not gonna like. It's not gonna be a auto buy author, and I'm not gonna like go around specifically trying to read more of it. And then 4 star is I really enjoyed it. I will probably buy more from that author, but I'm not going to necessarily reread that book. Whereas 5 star is a book I'm going to read over and over and over again. And I've been sitting here debating. I was like, was this a 5 star read? Because honestly, I think it was. Like, I want a physical copy so I can like take notes. First read of the year, first completed read of the year, and I think it was a 5 star book, guys. Like that doesn't happen very often for me. And I was listening to it on Everand, which used to be Scribd, and I have started, not last year, but the year before, I had started reading In Deeper Waters, I think it's called, also by the same author, F.T. Lukens, and I have 3 of F.T. Lukens' books in Everand waiting for me to read until I started this one today, and I'm like, oh, I think I just found a new author that I like thoroughly enjoy, and I want to read all of their books. Like, that's a weird feeling for me. That's a weird feeling for me because my husband will find a book series and he likes the really long ones, like 20 plus books, and he reads everything by that author. He finds an author he enjoys and he buys and reads. I'm looking at his shelves now, going, oh my god, he's got so many completed series and one series he's trying to complete. But or at least like in the case of Dresden, he's got all the books that up until what's now published in paperback. And he's got a couple of the hardbacks too. But anyways, so like I think I found a new auto buy author, and it's really weird because I never thought that would happen like on the first day of the year. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the book. I thoroughly enjoyed the representation in the book. Um, it was really enjoyable, and I think I've been rambling for the past 10ish minutes now about how much I enjoyed this book, and I can't even articulate what all I loved about it. This is why I wanted a paperback copy so that I can like annotate on it, because there was I've watched some videos recently where people were like talking about trends that can be left behind in 2023, and it was talking about people annotating books. I'm like, I don't take notes on a lot of books. I especially like audiobooks, I obviously don't because I'm listening to it, and usually I'm listening to it at work, so I can't stop and be like writing stuff down or even taking notes on my phone. So with audiobooks, I don't tend to take a lot of notes, but I've got notes on some of my paperbacks. It's usually just lines like, I love this. I love how this is written. This is beautiful. Or sometimes, especially like I'm kind of sort of off and on working on a case study as far as like the Witcher series goes. I've got 2 of the Witcher books. And I'm going through going, oh my God, this is a fairy tale retelling right here. And I'm talking, and I point out different parts of it where I'm like, this is this retelling, this is this retelling, this is this retelling. Because I'm seeing so many parallels of fairy tale retellings, like the original Grimm brothers not happy ending fairy tales, and I'm just like, oh. And so like I was using that as a case study to take notes on for books, but I do that quite often with a lot of the books I read that are fiction that I have physical copies of, and definitely with nonfiction craft books I definitely take a lot of notes, whether it's handwritten in the book itself or like I'm now using Notion to keep all my notes on. And I want to do that with this book. I want to go back through, reread it, enjoy it, and take notes. So definitely going to be buying a paperback copy to put on my shelf. Probably going to be listening to more books by them soon. And yeah, I think I've found a new keeper. And now I want to go check and see what other books they have out, because I know about So This Is Ever After. I know In Deeper Waters, and I have a third one that's on my Everand app, but I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. And I don't know if that's all the books they have out or if they have more books. So now I need to find out. Anyways, what are you reading now currently? How did you celebrate New Year's? I'll chat with you guys soon. Happy New Year's, Dragon Links. Now let's try to rein in the chaos that is my dice. I've got Rainbow Cthulhu here. And I got a lid here to make sure that dice doesn't go too far on top of my Fox box. So here we go. First roll of 2020. Roll initiative. Well, it helps if I actually drop it in. Guys, this doesn't look too promising. That's a 4. Should I be scared? I think I should be scared. I'm gonna roll another dice. Dice number 2? Maybe it'll be better? Oh, that one's worse. That's a 3. Oh, my ear's fucked. I can't tell if Jester is annoyed or what, but Pixel is grooming her. Super cute. Every once in a while they lay together in my chair. Jester has claimed that chair as her own. So if I'm sitting at my desk writing, she's in that chair 90% of the time, and every once in a while Pixel joins her and grooms her. Or just sleeps with her. Usually she sleeps with her. It's too cute. Real quick, I have mentioned in a couple of videos recently about goals and stuff that I wanted to do the stories following the events of Presumed Dead, which was the short story I included in an anthology called Summer Solstice Seduction. I'm looking at the book on the shelf. And I was like, I have ideas for 2 more stories because I think I mentioned that she has 2 more sisters. I mentioned she has at least 1 more sister, but I didn't say how many siblings she has. So this could be an open-ended series, which I'm kind of looking forward to, because it'd be cool to have this be like a Monster of the Week with different siblings and then different friends. I have ideas that are starting to percolate now that I know, because I reread Presumed Dead today, and now that I know what I can do with it, I'm like, ooh, the possibilities are endless. So I think Tara is the main character in Presumed Dead, and I know we mentioned and we met one of her sisters, Josephina, and in Presumed Dead, Josephina is married, but you can kind of get the hint that her marriage is on the rocks, which is where I'm starting with in book 2, or story 2. And this one is going to be Josephina's story. And then I have an idea for a 3rd story dealing with another sister and going camping. And I think I already have an idea for another story, a 4th story with a brother. Because I'm seeing that a lot. I've mentioned in something that I've read a lot of historical romance lately, and something I'm seeing a lot in the historical romance is a bunch of stories dealing with friends of each other or sisters of each other, where like story 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all females, and then the last story in the series is one of the males as the main character. As far as like siblings go, so like a great example is a story I read the other day, or a series I read late last year, late 2023, where the first story was one character, book 2 was her best friend, and then book 3 was the sibling of the best friend, and then book 4 was the brother of the siblings. So like I could do something like that where I have the 3 sisters, the brother, and I'm kind of leaning towards like a large family. If I can come up with different ideas for like different monsters, because each of the stories I'm doing so far, like book 1 is a ghost, book 2 the sister who can see ghosts that doesn't see the ghost in book 1 is she's dealing with a vampire. Book 3 is Wendigo, which if you know me and you've been on my channel for a bit, you know that is like my most feared creature of cryptid. So like book 3 is a Wendigo. I'm thinking the brother is going to deal with a siren, maybe. Ooh, like I have ideas. I want to do so many things. So I'm wondering if I can stretch this out to be 7 stories, where the 7th story is the brother. Like that's the idea. I have ideas. I don't know if I could pull it off, but like that's just thoughts I had right now when I'm getting ready to start my writing for the day. It is still January 1st, and I haven't done any writing yet. I have been watching YouTube videos and catching up with, it's family night, so we played Uno. Gwen won 2 rounds, and Justin won a 3rd one, but we had to quit playing because we kept debating like the rules of the game, and like we're not playing the way I used to play growing up, because apparently we went by house rules when I was growing up. But anyways, so we were trying to follow the official actual rules, and it was just causing too many disagreements and too many arguments, and I was like, nope, we're done for the evening. Family night's supposed to be time to spend together and enjoy each other's company, not, be spending half of it yelling at each other. So now I'm writing. Girls are watching YouTube or playing in the room. I don't know exactly what everyone's doing. Justin's playing a video game probably. But yeah, I'm going to start writing. I'm going to knock out a couple of sprints. See, it's 8 o'clock. I think I can do 2 sprints today. I got a couple other things I need to do too that are on my to-do list. And then I need to actually review my planners and see what I've actually done today, because I don't know. I don't know what I've done today. I don't know. So, anyways, I'm off. Oh, hey, Dragonlings. One of the things I'm hoping to do today is to then get my Kanban board up and running. I meant to do that yesterday, but a lot of things happened yesterday and I just didn't get it done. I was actually thinking about the fact that I have lots of plans to publish things this year. Some of those being novels, some of them being short stories, some of them being like novellas and stuff like that. And I got to think about it, and I used to have notes on like what I wanted to price stuff at, like price points and stuff, and it was all based on word count because of something I had talked about with another author, whether in like a Facebook post or individual one-on-one. I don't remember, but I was like, I know I talked to someone about it, and so I was looking through all my Facebook groups, I was looking through all my private messages and stuff, and I could not find it. So finally I went to one of the Discords, and I was like, did someone talk to me at one point about word counts and pricing? Because I feel like someone did, and I've looked everywhere and I can't find it. And the person who actually runs the group, I was like, yeah, it was me. I was like, oh fuck, I should have just asked here first rather than spending an hour looking for notes that don't exist, because I can't fucking find them. I probably do have it written down somewhere, but I couldn't find it. So I actually just finished adding a table onto my Notion with word count and pricing, because that's one of the things I wanted to start keeping in mind as I'm writing, is like, what is this going to be priced at when I go to publish it? So yeah, and I'm getting there. I'm slowly getting there. I'm working my way towards what I want to work on. But yeah, I just thought that was funny. I just spent an hour wasting my time basically when I should have just asked from the get-go and been like, hey, did someone talk to me about this? Because I remember talking about it with someone and I can't figure out who it was, or I can't find the notes, or yeah. Problem solved in like 5 seconds flat once I actually asked. The more you know. Dubs is awake. I'm watching a planner video, journaling about yesterday, and drinking the cappuccino chocolate mix that he made me. It's good. It's very good. So I completely got my Kanban board set up. It looks a little wonky, but that's okay. I thought I had little post-it notes of the purple because I have technically 5 sections to my goals. I've got writing and publishing, social media, reading, friends and family, and school and work. Like, those are the 5 areas. And I was going to separate them like they are into 3 goals, like social media, writing and publishing were going to be there, friends and family, reading was going to be there, and then school and work was going to be there, something like that. Like, I didn't have a 5th color to use, so all of my social media as well as reading and writing are pink because that's the one I had the most colors of. But yeah, at least it's up and running. It's ready to go. I've already moved some stuff around. I'm still working on other things. Like, it's going. I need to update it too, actually, because I finished a couple of chapters in one of the stories that's listed there. Give me a second and I will flip this around and show you. Alright, so here we've got Hunter's Betrayal, and I've got 1 through 4 already done, so I'm starting on chapter 5, Monster's Secret. All of these are like stacked on top of each other, so it's like all the chapters. These have already been outlined. That's why it says chapter instead of like word count. Presumed Dead number 2, Presumed Dead number 3 is down here. JSG is Jesse St. George. Let's see what else we got. Hunter's Betrayal cover. This is actually the covers for all of the novels that I want to get done for that series. Monster's Treasure, Monster's Secret, Monster's Punishment, PD 1, 2, 3, February vlog, February videos, PD 3, Presumed Dead 3, Instagram February, 7-day book challenge. I'm working on Hunter's Betrayal chapter 4 right now, January vlogs. This is what this clip is actually for. I have finished PD chapter number 2, 1, 2, and I think I'm on 3 right now. I'd have to double check that, but I get to move this one down, at least. We have not only... I get to move these down to the done section, actually. I don't know why this is being a pain in my butt. Hold on. Chapter 1 is done. Chapter 2 is done. I want to say chapter 3 is done too. Or am I on chapter 3? I'm currently on chapter 3. Okay, so I need to move chapter 3 down. To doing. There we go. Let's see, what else do we have? So, Justin St. George, chapter 9 is the one I'm working on. Instagram for January videos, and I've been basically I listed all the videos on here, and then I marked off the ones that are completed, whether they're live or scheduled. 85K 90, 10K days, and of course that. And then over here we got family night, date night, adventures, how many nonfictions I've read, friend requests, recommendations, fiction books I'm reading. So down here in the to doing, I've got symposium vlog, which I'm working on, nonfiction. I'm reading fiction book number 4, and then family night, and I'm checking them off and also writing what we did. So I forgot to check this off, but I'm writing what we did. We're actually planning on doing D&D next Monday, so I'll probably put D&D here. But yeah, as we do it, I'm writing down what we did that week too. And then these are the 3 fiction books I've already finished reading. Over here we've got choose course 1, 2, 3, and 4. Save $200 for February, January, and March. And it's got basically, as I save more money up, for the good, better, best goals, I'll put the next tab down. Create certification journal, which was actually left over from last year, but I just had to create a new tab for it because I don't know what to do with my other tabs. And then create course list, which I actually finished doing just a few minutes ago. So yeah, that's what my Kanban board looks like so far. And my skeleton friend is keeping him company. I don't remember what I named him. I'm pretty certain he's been renamed like 3 times with new names. Probably the same name 3 times, actually, honestly, because I can't ever remember what name it is. But yeah, that's what it looks like so far. And here's actually a look at the course list I've been completed. This is my current courses. I put the name of the course and where I am learning it from and whether or not I've completed it. Some of the ones I've completed I want to redo, like the data analytics certificate program. That particular one I've completed, but they have updated it with some new program stuff, so I actually want to completely redo that one eventually. Getting started with data analytics on AWS was a free course that I started on Coursera. I completed it, but I want to do some other data and analytics courses before I go back and redo that one. But yeah, this is all of the courses I'm currently signed up for. So this is where I get to pick my courses from that I want to do this year. And since Publish and Thrive was just recently redone, I actually want to focus on that one next. Hopefully, maybe. We'll see. Okay, so it is January 4th. I have been working on multiple things this morning. I'm actually updating Sims 4 because I really want to play a game. Like, I haven't played a game yet. And we're 4 days into the new year and I've had the past couple of days off. I've just been working on work, which is fine. Like, that's not a problem. And I will be doing more work later. But my husband's still asleep. He doesn't want to play Sims. And I guarantee, like, the plan when he wakes up is he's going to make cream of wheat because I suck at making it. And I really like it. And he likes it. So he's going to make us some cream of wheat for breakfast. I have technically already eaten. I'm not going to tell him that. I won't tell him if you don't. But, so we're going to have cream of wheat for breakfast. The way he makes it, he adds a bunch of stuff to it, so it's delicious. Perfection. Anyways, and this is coming from someone who doesn't like grits, so that should say a lot. Anyway, so I'm going to play some Sims before he wakes up, which hopefully will be soonish. But one of the things that I've been thinking about this morning, as I've been doing a bunch of things, is threefold, actually. 3 things. One of which I'm not going to be discussing. Like, that's going to be something I keep to myself, just because of the nature of it. And it's nothing to worry about. It's not bad. It's just thoughts. Partially because of what today is. Like, it is my anniversary. I have been married for 11 years today. And our anniversary is the same date as our original anniversary when we dated back in high school. Ow. My hand just cramped up. When we originally dated back in high school. For those who are new here and don't know, my husband and I met in high school in my freshman year, sophomore year, one of the two. And he was 1 grade above me. I think we met my freshman year. And we started dating my sophomore year. And then we dated until my senior year. There was some the misunderstanding trope that everyone seems to hate in romance. Yeah, we had that. Things went down. There was miscommunication between the two of us, and so we split up. We were apart for about a year, got back together, actually talked through our shit, and got back together. And then we got married after our youngest was born. She was born in 2012. We got married in 2013. Hi, Justin. Someone's awake. And we've been married ever since. So, that's the story of our romance. With lots of ups and downs in between. But because of that, it's got me thinking about some other things that we talk about off and on, half jokingly, half real. And some other people in both of our lives and things like that. And it's not for this vlog, this channel, nothing about that. That's going to stay personal. Sorry. Anyways, one of the other things I've been thinking about
is work, especially. Like, I haven't worked since Monday. I was originally scheduled to work Tuesday, and I called out for reasons. And so I haven't been to work since Monday, but this month is the month my schedule's supposed to change. And except for a text message saying, this is what you're working this week, I don't know what my schedule looks like yet because I haven't been to work. If I'd been to work on Tuesday, I would have gotten the new schedule. But I wasn't. So here we are. I'll find out tomorrow. And I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to make everything work with and with Gwen being in volleyball, because the youngest has decided to join volleyball, and sometimes she has practice in the mornings and sometimes she has practice in the afternoons, and it's just already, I'm just like, ugh. So that's fun. And then the final thing I've been thinking about is this story. I've been working on, if we turn my camera, I have been working on PD number 2, which is Presumed Dead number 2. Doesn't have an official title yet. It's got like 5 or 6 different working titles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 working titles right now. So yeah, I've been working on it, and it's been making me think, like, it's not going to be as short as the first one. And one of the things I was thinking about was like, okay, so do I want to change the first one a little bit? And I've been sitting here thinking about it, and I'm like, I think I actually do. I think I want to do a prologue and an epilogue from Keegan's point of view. So the entire story is from Tara's point of view. But I think it'd be really cool if we see Keegan's point of view in the very beginning when he wakes up in the car for the very first time, and the end, like 6 months out. Because it's a romance, a lot of times, a very common trope in romances is to end with either a marriage announcement, or engagement announcement, or a pregnancy. And I'm wondering if it might be good to add that trope into the story. And I think it would be really cool if, like, so the whole point of Presumed Dead, the first story, is that Tara buys a new car, and it's haunted by the ghost of Keegan. And Keegan insists he's not dead, and they try to find out what happened to him, where his body is, and get him back where he belongs, and essentially bring him back to life. So I think the prologue would be cool to kind of, it'd be very short, and demonstrate like his confusion when he wakes up in the car and he's not human anymore, and he's just like, what the fuck is going on? And I think the epilogue would be cool to bring in like that happy ever after trope with either not a pregnancy announcement. I really don't like the pregnancy announcements, but like maybe an engagement, or maybe they're already engaged but they're talking about getting married, and discussing his abilities. Like, maybe I think that would be kind of cool to bring in. And I'm sorry if this is spoilers for anyone who hasn't read it yet, but like, I think that'd be cool. And then I was thinking about that and trying to do the same thing with book 2. So book 2 is going to be from Josefina's point of view, and I think it'd be really cool if I'm going to do that with Tara and Keegan, where Keegan's point of view is the prologue and the epilogue. I think that would be really cool to do also with book 2, where it's Seb's point of view in the prologue and the epilogue. I think that's a really cool idea, and I think I'm going to go with it. But I just had to talk through it. But that being said, that means I need to do the same thing with the third one, who I don't have a name for the sister. I did find out, though, that I did not mention how many siblings Tara has, so I literally could keep this series going for a while, and I kind of want to, because you know that that trope about the seventh son of the seventh son. I think it would be really cool if her family has like several children, and the final book is like almost the seventh son of the seventh son trope. However, if I'm going to do that, I need to figure out what monsters I'm going to use for the rest of the books, because the first one deals with a ghost that says he's not a ghost, and I know what he is, and it actually is never actually mentioned in the story, so that could be addressed in the prologue and epilogue as well, as what he actually is, other than not a ghost. The second one deals with a vampire, the third one deals with a Wendigo, and I think I could keep it going with other monsters that are like unknown monsters. Especially, like, I have other story ideas that I haven't done anything with. But then it's just a matter of figuring out, A, what the series is going to be called. I've been calling it Sultry Seductions, I think is what I called it. It's in my newsletter. I think it's called Sultry Seductions. And because I didn't mention how many siblings there were, I could do that, or I could do something where like a sibling of one of the partners as well. Like I could keep this going for a while in the same world, different monsters. It would be kind of cool, actually. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm really excited about this. But so that's my first problem, is figuring out the series name, which I think I like. Sultry Solstices is what I'm calling it. Sultry Solstices. God, I can tell when I have a lisp when I have to say words like that. But so the first story is called Presumed Dead, and then the other ideas I have for the second story are Imagined Overdue, because Seb is a bookstore owner. Night Walks, which I got that idea from one of the ambience music pieces I was listening to while writing some scenes. In fact, the first few scenes, actually, the music video that was playing was called Night Walks, and I was like, oh, that's perfect. Night Books, same reason. Told you, Seb is a vampire, sorry. Night Talks, and if I wanted to keep with the presumed portion, because Tara assumed that Keegan was dead and he was a ghost, we could do Presumed Nocturnal. That still falls in the same category, and so I could keep up with the presumed portions if I wanted to. I think I want to keep it in 2 words. That might change. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I know Josephina is the main character of the second story. The first story, we meet Josephina and we learn a little bit about her. We know that she can see ghosts. We know, like, because she's the outcast of the family, she's always been able to see ghosts, which is why Tara goes to her. She's like, you can see ghosts, but you can't see this one. What the fuck's going on? So we know from the get-go, going into the second story, if you've read the first story, that Josephina can see ghosts, and then she meets this vampire who has a ghost problem, and she helps him solve the ghost problem. Like that's legit what the story is about. Seb has a ghost problem, and he hires Josephina to handle it. And then in the third one, the other sister goes on a camping trip and meets a Wendigo. And I've got more ideas with that one, but until I flesh them out, I don't really have like a what's going to happen kind of thing. But yeah, that's what I've been thinking about lately. And I think that was 2 of the things I've been thinking about, and I don't remember what the third one was. Now that I'm talking, I don't remember what the third one was. Oh, reading. Because I've been reading a lot, I have read 4 books in 4 days, and 3 of the 4 dealt with demons. So I'm like, do I want to include demons in this world? Like, do I want a demon story? I really like my demons. I was telling my husband last night, because he got me, was up way past my bedtime, considering everything I needed to do today. And he was like, you're still awake? And I was like, yeah. He was like, what are you reading? I'm like, demons. And he's like, what are we going to do with you? I was like, what can I say? I like my demons. So yeah, what books have I read, like, that deal with demons? Let's see. Hold on. Some of them were pretty good. I've been really impressed with my reading selection so far this year. Demons. Okay, so we got Cocoa with Krampus, which is, Krampus is basically a demon. A Christmas Demon for Clara. They've all been holiday ones, by the way. And Beastly and Bookish. Like, those were the 3 ones that I have read that had demons. And some I like better than others. But all 3 have had the same similar vibe with demons. And so I'm like, do I want to put demons in the Presumed Dead world? And I'm like, nah, I don't. I don't really want to put demons in that world. Demons show up in like 90% of my worlds. Don't need them in this one too. And then I was thinking to myself, could I link this to, like, could this be linked to the same world as the monster stories? Like, can I link these? Can we have a cameo appearance in one of the monster stories of the characters from the Presumed Dead stories? Maybe. Could I tie this into the same world where we've got our cryptids and our mythicals, and then we've got our monsters hiding under the bed in a separate world? Like, I kind of want to join them together and make them a shared universe. That's the word I was looking for. I kind of want to do that. Not gonna lie, that, like, the more I think about that, the more I'm like, oh, could I make this work? Could this technically be 2 series in the same shared universe? The monster stories are going to be called Monster Mates. And then I've got sultry solstices because they all revolve around the solstice. That's going to be the other thing. Every story is going to revolve either around the summer solstice or the winter solstice. I've got things to think about now. Listen to that sizzle. Sizzle, 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 sizzle. I am not happy with myself. There's absolutely nothing wrong. God, I need a shower and I need to get a haircut. Anyways, okay, so there's absolutely nothing wrong. I do hurt. I have been hurting every day this week for various reasons, but that has nothing to do with why I'm upset with myself. I'm upset with myself because I'm sitting here. I knew I wasn't going to write on the 4th because it was my anniversary, but I didn't write on the 5th. I didn't write yesterday, and I haven't written yet today because I've got some other things I got to knock out first, and I don't know if I'm going to get to writing before I go to bed, which makes me a little upset. But that's not even what upsets me. I have been thinking about writing, and that's why I'm upset. Because I've been thinking about various stories. I've been thinking about the presumed dead stories, which I gotta quit calling them that because I finally have a series name for them. Sultry solstices. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna be able to say that either. Oh shit. I'll have to figure out what else to call them because I'm tired of calling them presumed dead when they're not gonna be named presumed dead. They're not all gonna be called presumed dead. And I can't say sultry solstices quickly without Why do I do this to myself? No. So I've been thinking about those stories and the fact that I didn't name how many siblings she has, so she could have up to 7 siblings if I can come up with monsters for them. But that's not the story I've been thinking about. Like, I have been thinking about that, but I haven't been thinking about that because the one I just came up with another story idea was the monster one. So I released Monster's Treasure this year in the anthology, and I already had ideas for the other 2 monsters that were mentioned in Monster's Treasure. So I got Monster's Secret and Monster's Punishment ready. Like, I've got the ideas, I'm ready to write them. And then last week, the week before, sometime, I came up with a 4th idea, with a 4th monster that's not been mentioned, but will be mentioned in one of these 2 stories. And today I had another story idea for another monster. I don't know what it is about the monster stories, but I can come up with more ideas for the monsters underneath your bed, in your closet, and stuff like that. Much easier than I can come up with the monsters for the presumed dead story. And that's what I'm upset with myself about. I'm like, I would rather write more of the presumed dead stories because those ones are more my speed. And by that I mean, like, they're monsters that I've written about in the past. I'm more comfortable with those monsters because they are, like, mythological. Like, I've got ghosts and vampires and shit like that. I'm used to writing those kinds. Whereas the monsters in the bed closet stuff, Monster Mates stories, those are legit monsters that will be coming from, like, your closet and under your bed to scare you at night. And yeah, it's before I wrote Monster's Treasure, though, that was not something like I had any interest in writing. I had no desire to write. Oh, Chester wants in. Oh goodness, guys, damn it. Being in my chair, struggling today. Like, I had no desire to write stories about monsters in that way. So, like, I didn't even think about doing it. And now I'm going to write 3, 4, maybe 5 possibly. So, yeah, I'm just irritated with myself. Jester, are you coming in? Hey, you just pawed at the door to come in. Come on. Thank you. Must be a cat outside that she wants. But, so yeah, that's where I currently stand. And that's why I'm mad at myself, because now I want to write a 4th, maybe 5th story in that same world with the monsters under the bed. And I'm upset with myself about it. So yeah, that's where I currently stand. That's what I'm currently working on. And no, I have not written anything else today. My writing today is probably going to be me planning out these stories that are possibly going to happen at some point. Maybe not this year, but
This is why I changed my goals from what I originally intended to the good, better, best, because I knew something like this was going to happen, where I would come up with other story ideas that I would want to write other than what I should be writing. Because like right now, I should be working on Hunter's Betrayal. I should be working on that one in the corner, that top one. I should be working on that one, and I'm not. Oh well. Anyways, so yeah, I just wanted to update you guys on like what my brain is doing to me, other than fucking me over, because that's what's happening right now. Yeah. Let's see how we'll end this week. Tomorrow's Sunday, and I got a lot of things I want to do tomorrow too, so I'll update you then. Bye. Another thing I want to add that I'm doing differently this year is, so I'm keeping track of my word counts like I've been doing, but on my Excel sheet that I'm tracking word counts, I am not just tracking projects I'm working on, I am also tracking book reviews. I keep track of what I'm reading in Notion, and I tend to write my thoughts out, whether that's like an actual review or like quotes that I like and stuff like that, and I am just basically copying and pasting what I write down in that Notion into a Scrivener document and using that to calculate how many words I write, because I can get pretty lengthy in my little discussions about what I liked and what I didn't like in the books that I'm reading. So like already, according to this, I have written 3,000 words this year across 4 books that I've done reviews for. And again, it's just like, this is what I liked, this is why I liked it, this is what I didn't like, this is why I didn't like it, and stuff like that. So, yeah, I decided to go ahead and add that in because I have written quite a few words this week if I add that in. Without that in, I have obviously written 3,000 less. But because a lot of my days have been filled with stuff like that, that's sometimes why I couldn't get to actual writing. So, or I didn't write as many words in my actual writing projects. So I want to kind of keep track of that to see how much I'm writing in various things throughout the year, because I think that will affect some things. So just a heads up. So today was both unproductive and productive at the same time. And what I mean by that is I didn't really get a lot of writing done. I didn't really feel like writing today, so I didn't get a lot of writing done, which was fine, because that's going to happen every once in a while. And I knew this was going to happen if I go too many days without writing, which is why I didn't want to do that, but it's okay. It's fine. I have spent more time today thinking about different projects. I have mentioned in at least one clip, if not more, that I've been debating on writing more stories within the same world of both Monster's Treasure and Presumed Dead. I have now plotted out the gist, bare basic bones of 7 stories within the Presumed Dead world. And by 7, I mean including the first one that's already done. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 within the Monster's Treasure world, including Monster's Treasure. In the case of Monster's Treasure, I have the basic story idea written in a couple paragraphs, as well as like those ones have titles. So I've got Monster's Treasure, Monster's Secret, Monster's Punishment, Monster's Thread, and Monster's Shadow. And Monster's Thread and Monster's Shadow, depending on how they're written, can be reversed. So it could be Monster's Shadow and then Monster's Thread. But either way, there's 5 of those. And then with the Presumed Dead stories, I don't have titles, but I do have the couples and what is going on with them. And what I mean by that is, like, I've got written down for Presumed Dead, Tara and Keegan, Ghost. Tara buys a haunted car and helps Keegan find his body. The second one is Josephina and Sebastian or Seb, Witch and Vampire. Josephina helps Seb with his ghost problem in his 24-hour bookstore. 3 is China and Hazan. It's a Wendigo, and China's goes camping with friends, and Hazan saves her from a bear.
4 is Sunny and Miguel, a hellhound. Sunny accidentally hits a large dog only to discover it's Miguel. Zuri and Lorenzo, or Enzo, orc. Zuri is Enzo's probational officer trying to find him community service. Alicia and Cyan, which is Faye. Alicia attends a masquerade for work and runs into a prince. And then the last one is Amani and Sahir, a jinn. Amani refuses to wish for anything when she comes across a jinn Sahir. So, yeah, I've got like the bare basic bones of the stories, and I'll figure out titles later. I'm still struggling with the titles for Josephina and Sebs, and I've got that story pretty much locked down as far as like what happens in it. I haven't fully written it, but with these stories, I'm basically what I just said for the description is what I'm working with. That's literally all I had for the idea of Presumed Dead was Tara buys a haunted car and she has to help Keegan find his body. Like, I didn't have names when I first began that story except for Tara's. I knew her name was going to be Tara, but like I didn't know what I wanted Keegan's name to be. So I literally said Tara buys a haunted car and helps the ghost find his body. Like, that was my one sentence description, and I wrote the entire story based on that without plotting it. Like, that was all I wrote. I have pretty much been doing the same thing with Josephina and Seb's story, but I kind of know where that plot is going and I know how it's going to end, whereas I didn't with the first one. And these last ones, I think I've got the third story pretty much locked down and the fourth story pretty much locked down. 5, 6, and 7 are the ones that are going to be like, not quite certain where I'm going with there, but they are short stories, so it's not like I have to worry about a lot there. That'll make it go so much faster and easier, which is cool. But yeah, so I haven't written a lot of words today, but like that's where my brain has been. I've been playing a lot of Sims today, and I've just been kind of enjoying my day off from work. We were supposed to go to a 4-H meeting today. We did not end up going. I ended up texting the 4-H coordinator and going, hey, we do not feel good. And I haven't been feeling good all day. This morning I woke up with a sore throat and I was coughing off and on. I do feel a lot better now that I'm like fully drugged up than I did this morning when I woke up. But even the girls off and on today have been coughing, and I'm just like, fuck. I don't want everyone sick. But at least in my case, I started feeling like crap yesterday. So I think it was legit just a 24-hour bug, because I'm feeling a lot better now than I did this morning. And it started last night, actually. Excuse me. But again, it could be just because I'm so drugged up right now. On Dayquil. And soon I'm going to be taking NyQuil so I can go to bed, because I need to go to bed soon. But yeah, I haven't gotten a lot of words done today, but I have gotten a lot of work done. I'm so glad I changed my goals for this year, because between writing these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 other stories, I don't think I'm going to actually fulfill the stories that I had originally planned on working on, because I had originally planned on working on 2 stories for the Presumed Dead series and 2 stories for the Monster's Treasure series, and now I'm looking at writing 6 stories for the Presumed Dead story, because I'm trying not to count the one I've already written, and 4 stories for the Monster's Treasure series, and I'm just like, oh dear. Excuse me, what have I done? So, oh my goodness, I don't think I'm going to end up publishing these stories this year like I had originally planned, because I got too many stories. And that's another thing. I've been debating, like, these stories are so short. They're shorter than my reader magnet, and I was having, like, last year, I was trying to, hold on, let me grab it real quick. So last year, I was trying to get paperbacks of my reader magnet, Cowboys and Dragons, and because it's so short, I was having trouble with the spine, and it's still, like, it's not good. Like, I'm gonna end up sending the dimensions to, like, the inside looks beautiful.
Not this one. This one. This one? Yeah, like the spine looks like crap because the words are going on the backside versus the actual spine. But like the inside looks good. Looks awesome. But let's see. This story is, I want to say about 12K. I want to say it's about 12K. And I struggled with the cover so much. And I still haven't successfully finished it. I gave up and stopped trying. I don't even have the first version. I don't remember what happened with this one. Like, there's white on the cover, but it was the same. I think this was after I changed the cover dimensions, but I made it smaller, so it should have worked. I don't know. I don't remember. These are the 2 copies I got. There was a 3rd copy, and it was so fucked up I trashed it. So, yeah. I don't even remember why I kept these 2. I think I kept these 2 to look at and be like, okay, this is what I did right, this is what I did wrong. The problem is I didn't mark which one was which, so I don't know which one's which. Yeah, I have no idea. But, yeah. Anyways, back to what I was trying to say from the get-go, is that because these stories are so much shorter, I'm not certain if publishing them as single stories is a good idea. Like, I probably can for ebook, but, like, I wanted to do paperbacks as well. And so what I'm thinking is, if I do these individually, they'd be like 99-cent reads for each story individually. Or you can get the omnibus for a certain price. I haven't figured that out yet because it'll depend on the final word count. And then the omnibus will be available both as ebook and paperback. That's my thought process right now. And that's for both set of short stories. The Sultry Solstices stories, as well as the Monster Mates stories. That's just what I've been thinking about all day today, like off and on, is how I want to actually go about publishing these when I'm ready to. And I don't know if I'm actually going to write all 70 stories for the Presumed Dead series, and I don't know if I'm going to write all of the stories that I'm thinking about for the Monster Mates stories, but that's where my brain has been going today. Like, I've been like, okay, let's go with ideas. And this is usually how my brain works, is that I will think about all these ideas, get super excited about them, and then never write them. But in this case, I think I will write them. I'm like halfway through with Josephina's and Seb's stories already. And I've already got most of the idea that I want locked down for the Wendigo one. I literally didn't even have names for the characters yet. I just knew that the sister would go camping with friends, and the Wendigo was going to save her from something. I didn't even know what it was going to be yet. I just knew that it was going to save her from something. And that plot line might not stay the same. But I live up in the mountains. The thing we worry about the most at our campgrounds is bears. So that's why that one popped in my head. So, yeah. It might stay, it might not. I don't know yet. I'll have to figure it out. So, I've got some work to do still. But I think this is where I'm going to end this vlog. Because one of the other things I was thinking about today is that when I was doing vlogs last year, I was like offsetting them so that they were ending on the same week as my regular videos coming out. And that's not what's happening this week because of the way the weeks fell. So I've literally got 3 days to edit and upload this video. Whoopsie-daisy. So yeah, this is where I'm going to end this vlog. I hope you guys have had a wonderful week, and let me know one of the things you've been doing down in the comments. And yeah, I will start another vlog for next week, or tomorrow I should say, and we'll go from there. Alright, good night, Dragonlings, and I'll see you in the next one.